Hello and welcome to today's podcast. It's nice to know you are still there and following with our discussion. In the past 1 week, we've shared a lot of light on the farming system. Today and for the next few days, we are going to be giving a lot of attention to resources, the how to manage resources and the importance of resources in our farming operation. So let's start by asking ourselves the first question, which is, what's a resource? We hear the word resources management, resources allocation, optimization of resources. What is a resource? A resource is a part of a system that we combine. A resource can be an item that need to interact with other items within the farming system. A resource can be human, it can be material. A resource can be natural. So we'll be using the maize cultivation as an example. We will still use it. So when we talk about the resources that are involved in the cultivation of a maize farm, we'll be talking about the land, we'll be talking about the seed itself, we'll be talking about the land preparation process, we'll be talking about the richness of the soil, we'll be talking about weed management system and the materials we use for managing our weeds. We'll be talking about the people who the hands, the manpower that drives this combination. We'll be talking about even the outcome, storage facility, storage system, everything that plays a role in the cultivation of the maize is what is termed a resource. Now, the next question you will be asking yourself, if all the things that combines together in the farm is what we define as a resource, how can we make the most of it? Some people believe that resources should naturally combine themselves, which in the natural order they should. But over time, we've discovered that resources can be enhanced. The way you till the soil will determine how you will loosen up the soil. That will also help to determine how there will be aeration underneath the soil that will aid even the growth of the seed. The way you loosen the soil will determine how the percolation of the taproot will be easy. If the way you treat the soil will determine how you can restore the worn out nutrients that will make it rich enough for the soil to be able to propel a healthy growth of the seeds that has been planted in the soil. Now let's look at the way you prepare the ridge or the heap. This determines how you control erosion. It determines how you are able to manage your spacing and other areas that constitute. Now, what about the way you apply your fertilizer, the way you apply your manure? All these factors can be a better way of doing it. So which means if there is a better way to actualize the results that one sets out to achieve, it means we are enhancing our resources. This program you are listening to right now is a resource enhancement tool. You are a part of the resources, whether you are the farm manager, you are a farm hand, or you are the owner of the business. You are part of the resources because you make decisions day to day. So the amount of information that gets to you also determines the quality of decision you will make. So which means you as an individual, you are being enhanced. Then we now need to look at, if that is the case, is need to ask ourselves the next question, which is, are all resources geared to aid the efficiency of our farming operations? When we improve the resource within our control, is it in all cases it increases the efficiency of our operation, or is it in all cases it adds to the effectiveness of the use of the farming operation? Efficiency talks about the most positive result you can attain when you combine resources together. That means if we say that the operation of this farm is very efficient, it means that the rate of results they get is very high. Now, what is the objective of every farming system? One of the possible objectives of every farming system is to ensure that the resources are effectively combined in such a way that it will be at its best. For those of us who have the background of thermodynamics and physics, you will understand that it's often said that efficiency can never be 100. So which means resources can never be combined in absolute term where there will not be room for improvement. So as we continue with this discussion, let's set that at the back of our mind. You might be doing very well now in your farming operations. Your farming activities are yielding fantastic results, but there is need for you to have that in mind, that you are not presently operating at 100% efficiency. There is always room to improve on your system. As we'll be rounding up today's discussion, the question we'll be asking ourselves is, what should be the goal of our resources during allocation? We should be guided by how we use our resources, and this will be concentrating, talking much about in our next class. There is need for you to know what is the objective of these resources. What do I want to achieve? Am I over allocating the resources or am I under allocating the resources? Let's use an example of manpower. Manpower do I need for this particular task? For example, if I want to weed and I want to adopt manual weeding, do I need to employ somebody trained with a degree from the college to carry out that activity, or do I just need a simple person who I can just guide in the action, just be able to identify the weed from the crop itself and just pull up the weeds by manual? For example, maybe you are clearing up weeds from a ridge that you have vegetables. So now imagine if you employ somebody who is highly qualified for that task. That is wastage of resources and it is abuse of resources capacity. The same way it goes with land. We have seen a scenario where people prepare a land of a hectare and yet they only have the capacity to cultivate a quarter of it. All the money that you go into preparing the land is a waste. It's a wastage of resources. You don't have to just use resources because it's available. You use your resources, be guided with the fact that at all times you make the most of it. So for today, we'll be stopping here. We want to hear from you. We want to get feedbacks from you on your views concerning those discussions we're having. You can go to our social media handles at OnePlot. You can equally send us an email on justoneplot@gmail.com. We will appreciate and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.